The formula of the source of life reading one, currently our society is being governed by three perspectives. The first perspective is the scientific perspective, the second is the religious and belief perspective, and the third is the perspective of morality principle. Regardless of what we live in the world, we are currently being influenced by three perspectives, and one of the law that influences greatly is the laws of cause and effects, and the laws of cause, condition, or interaction. We imagine our life is our current result simply the outcomes of the history source in the past. Therefore, a formula calls me the formula of the source of life. What is the formula? Let's write down the formula for the desired outcome. Good call plus favorable condition desired outcome. That therefore is going to create desirable futures. Should be focused on creating the good cause right in the present moment. Ừ, các bạn này không được. Dừng, 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 dừng. Đặt lại, dừng lại. Đó, bỏ đi. Mm, 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 tự nhiên tự dòng tự phát. Lesson 1, the formula of the source of life, reading 1. Currently, our society is being governed by the three perspectives. The first perspective is the scientific perspective, the second is religious and belief perspective, and the third is the perspectives of moralities or principle. Regardless of where we live in the world, we are currently being influenced by these three perspectives. And one of the laws that influence us greatly is the laws of cause and effects and the laws of cause conditions or interaction. If we imagine our current life is our current result simply as the outcome of the six weeks thoughts in the past, there is a formula of the source of the called the formula of the source of life. What is the formula of the source of life? Or stop. Lại. The formula of the source of life, reading 1. Currently, our society is being governed by three perspectives. The first perspective is the scientific perspective. The second is the religious and belief perspective. And the third is the perspective of morality or principle. Regardless of where we live in the world, we are currently being influenced by this perspective. And one of the laws that influence us greatly in the laws of cause and effect and the laws of current conditions or interaction. If we imagine our current life is our current result, simply the outcomes of the seeds we sowed in the past. There is a formula called the formulas of the source of life. What is the formula? Let's write down. The formula for desired outcome. Good cause plus favorable condition equal desired outcome. Therefore, if we want to create a desired future, shouldn't we focus on create a good core in right in this present moment? This knowledge, religion, belief, science, and morality or principle all lead to one state. We need to understand the root cause of a person's life through these three perspectives to be considered to have a thorough understanding of the core. One stand under the scientific perspective, why I do have result today, if standing under the religious and belief perspective, why do we have this result today? If standing under the perspective of morality principle, why do we have this result today? First, let us thoroughly understanding the core from the scientific perspective discard the source of life of a person, religions, belief, morality, or principle or science, and the formula of the source of life. We take a piece of paper and write down the word result at the buttons and circles and draw an arrow leading to the result. If we want to choose one of the direct represent of the results of life today that affects our life result, it will be choice. Each verse gave us a message that choice directly affect the result of our life today. Let's reflect, is it true that the chain of choices we made in the past determine the result of our life today? When we reflect, we often grant ourselves the right to choose the good things in life. However, when it's come to present things, the tendency of our inner self is to attribute to the choice to other. If we contemplate even the desirable and undesirable situations in life are owing to our own choice, and we understand that the sources of life originates from ourselves. Therefore, the source of life originates from me, but it is not my fault. Why it is not my fault? Because we didn't know any better, and our awareness has been better. We would not have made that choice. At that time, our awareness was only at that level. We let the choice that therefore the choice we made exact moment was correct. This leads to a famous saying, if you want to change circumstances, change our personality. That explains the persons repeatedly recreate the same circumstances through their form personality. However, we do not know what cause a personality is suitable for good outcomes. So if we focus on changing personality, it is not yet the root cause. This is because no specific personality trait dictates that a person's life will be good. Researchers studying well, these people found that one person became rich in one way and other in a different way. They had different personality. Therefore, any personality can potentially lead to a war, but any Personality can also lead property. Ultimately, we people they like even they change their personality, they wouldn't know what once was appropriate. Focusing on changing personality is not the root cause, and the result will still repeat. But if you don't change your personality, you don't change the result. Yes, focusing on changing personality doesn't work because it isn't the root cause in the good choice. The expressive format that a person's habit creates their personality after this realization, they started asking or focusing on changing habit. Good habit will lead into a good personality, resulting a good choice. After some time, people discover that changing habit changes personality, and changing personality changes the result. However, we realize that habits are also not the root cause. They investigated further and found that a person's action determine their habits. So they that a good action will lead to a good habits lead to a good personality, and a good personality will lead to good destiny and good life result. Following this, they try to manage people action, but they discover that the action still repeats and old patterns, and change a person's action is very difficult. They succeed in changing the actions, but focus on changing action does not last. Eventually, experts provide us with the insights that a person thought determine their actions. They tolerate the good thoughts will be created good actions. Good action will be result in the good habits, and good habits will lead to a good personality, which then lead to a final result joy. Thus, they go says girl thought so a thought driven action, so an action driven a habit, so a habit driven a personality, so a personality driven a destiny. The entire was focused on how people could cultivate a good mindset and good thoughts. However, through deeper research over time, people discover that they even when they try to control their thoughts, negative thoughts still repeated immerse in their life. This rule, though that always present out their mind, they began to invest the determine a person's thought. And focusing on thought, a person continue to repeat negative thoughts in life. The question is right. What shape a person's thought? High level mentors express proud out to us that it is belief that shaped their thought. A belief essentially humans always hold a belief about something. This belief can be counter to their desire or alignments with that desire. It is also known as a positive and negative belief. For example, someone say, "I keep trying to lose weight lot, but I can't lose any. I'm discouraged. I keep trying, but it doesn't work." Normally, our thinking assesses that the lack of belief in their ability to lose weight. However, the deeper truth is that a person holds the belief that they are very fat and will never able to become thin. Whatever belief a person holds, the life result will form accordingly. That is because belief directly affects them affect their choice, and whatever belief it held, that result manifests. If we hold the belief and we cannot do something, the result is that we cannot do it. Human beliefs does not have a 99 concept. Belief is 100 conviction that you wholly believe. The difference lies solely on the direction of that belief, whether it aligns with and or goes against the desire. If human knows this knowledge will be wonderful. If so, someone believes I am not beautiful. No matter what I do, I'm not beautiful. The result is that the person believes they are ugly, so nothing they do make them beautiful. Therefore, some people imitate the other then go to for the no job, but if the inner belief is there, they are an ugly person getting a no job, which sometimes result in them damage their nose. Conversely, a person who already believes they are beautiful, they get a broad seduced to make them even more beautiful. People who hold the belief that they are happy become happier when they get married. Conversely, if we hold the belief that we are miserable, so whoever we marry, we will remain miserable. There was a story about a woman whose husband was launching a book. He was a famous self-development trainer. A reporter, instead of interviewing him, played a top trick and turned to his wife asking, your husband is a famous self-development trainer and he has helped many people change their lives and become happy. But honestly, has he brought happiness to you? A woman answered immediately, no. Everyone around was alarmed, wondering why she said that and if it would be damaged her husband's reputation. Other reports questioned asking, sir, has your husband truly brought you a happy life result? And she says no. Then another person skillfully asks a more open-ended question. The woman smiled and replied, how can a man bring happiness to a woman? A woman must have happiness on her own, and only then he can a man bring her more happiness. He hasn't brought me happiness. I must be happiness person, a, a happy person, and he just one thing who brings me more happiness. Internally, we lack a belief that other love us. We don't believe our husband, our child love us, and we try and demand the love. And what is the result outcome? People do not love us because internally we lack that belief. So we do not see the result externally. Therefore, we only need to change our inner belief system to change the result. Here is the concept we need to grasp in the inner belief versus the conscious desire. For example, when a man and a woman get married, they expect a marriage to be harmonious and happy. However, deep down, some people in a belief does not include harmonious and happiness marriage. So the conscious desire is for a harmonious and happy marriage, and with the inner belief contradicts this desire. The result is that the inner belief way triumphs over the conscious desire. If the inner beliefs and the conscious desire are unified, lives become wonderful. The conscious desire always aims for good things. For example, a happy marriage, success in works, and good relationships with people. Almost every wishes for positive outcome. If the conscious desire is unified with inner beliefs, the human life always wonderful, harmonious struggle with that joy between thoughts and belief. This is the crucial headway of the brain set mindsets and the person's inner subconscious which often conflicts with each other. Ultimately, the inner self screen humans try to use their consciousness mindsets to change their inner self, and science often favors the approach. If science was entirely correct, the life a beautiful science would be wonderful. However, the scientific perspective shows us that an inner belief as what determines our result. Therefore, we must change the belief system and change result. Merely thinking about externally will not change the result. How belief is also not the root cause, so changing beliefs doesn't suffice. We don't know why, so trust a certain person. So we raise the next question: what determines a person's belief? That's the person's mental image and the sixth mental image. It determines the belief. The six mental images in our mind determines our belief, which determines the result of our life. The mental limits. These are coordinates. A small exercises to people closest to us. Two people will feel more familiar with them without thinking. Write the name vertically both on the both sides, then instantly through fireworks that evoke the mental images of our feelings and emotion about that person. You can't start and do this. Experience here and they continue reading because we have that seeds of the images out in our head is predict the result of our life eternally. We see the father as handsome, funny, but sometimes other people might not see his gentleness. We might even see him as strict. Yet we see him as gentle in our eye even when he sleeps. We might perceive him as diligent while we assume he must be tired which why which is why we're sleeping. But the sister reminds her our father is laziness. Then, even when he's working, we may say, look at that lazy attitude. The result of our external life are projected from the seat we image in my mind. The story of the pen. Let's we borrow this pen from Geshe macros imagines are holding an object we often use, perhaps a pens we written tools now consist other. Rồi tạm dừng đi. Ok, kệ tới đó thôi cũng được.